Alrighty, welcome to J&J Mondays. If For those who don't know, this is me, J77, Jocko Lee for others, and I'm here with a very good friend of mine and colleague of MaddingExpression.com. That is Josh again. Say hello, Josh.
Hi, yo.
Josh, can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah,
there
I
you
can
go.
hear you. I can
All
hear
right,
you.
and she has a nice bear with her. Now, this is a pilot episode. This is not the official first episode yet. This is pretty much a test run to see what works, what not. Basically, J&J Mondays is pretty much like the Entertainment Roundup, but live. It's pretty much will be put as a live podcast, talking about various things in the entertainment world, but more in a freestyle way. We'll take different stories as well as talk about the box office, what made it, what didn't make it, what is considered to be a hit, what is considered to be a miss, and talk about even some of the upcoming attractions that will be releasing next week. And Starbucks took a good time to grind coffee in the cafe, but that's something I just got to deal with. It is a nice, quiet, breezy Monday. She has her coffee, I got mine. So before I go on, how are you doing, Josh? Again, how are things going with you?
Things are going good. I watched Doctor Who yesterday. I finally watched last week's episode of The Strain and got decent amount of
Is
block
that
work done.
you had a lot of block work done? Is that the season finale, or are they still going on?
Uh,
The strain.
The Strain's still going on. I think it has at least a few more episodes. Falling Skies season finale was last night. 2-hour season
Okay, you
finale.
watched.
I
So
haven't
basically, you saw two episodes. One.
No, I haven't seen the Falling Skies season finale. I'm going to as soon as I can.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, I need to ask you a question. Are you happy with the shows that was the new show that came out this year, or looking forward for any new shows that's coming out this coming fall season?
Let's see. Series that just came out, Extant, which I only caught up to on the third episode finally, and that's a good sci-fi show. Halle Berry plays Molly, who comes back from a 13-month solo mission in space, and she has the somehow pregnant, and everything goes from there. Like it's it's creepy, and it's good that the main character, is a woman, and then is a person of color too. Like she's really the main character, so that's good to see in a show. And The Strain, which is based off Guillermo del Toro's book trilogy, I think of the same name. I have to double check the name of the book trilogy. Is good. It's bringing vampires as we haven't seen them for in a while. Just these bloodthirsty creatures. These aren't the kind that you
Wow.
romance. These are the kinds that get turned and their dicks fall off.
Well, that's something that I did expect from a vampire show. So
I
I'm
didn't
not
expect
gonna
it either,
comment
but the
on that one,
guy's
but
dick
I
just
will
falls
comment on
off.
this. It is the combination of science fiction and vampire in this show good? Did they did it well with sci-fi mixed with horror in this show? It's
Yeah,
not jumbled up.
it works. There's I think this last week's episode they even explained why silver would be useful against the vampires. They like the first episode when the coroner, who unfortunately dies by the end, starts cutting them open and starts saying things. He's describing, things. Scientifically, this is how this would work. This is how that would work. So all in all, it's good. There's no real supernatural elements. There's no crosses you use that would deter them.
Okay. So they basically gave us something new to the vampire lore that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Better than Twilight.
You know what? That's like saying it's better than shit, and that's not really good standard to go against. It's like, hey, would you like shit or
And
no
Twilight is
shit?
different.
One's not shit.
uh, so The Strain, which I haven't seen an episode yet, and that's largely because I've been so busy with other stuff I haven't even getting a chance to check it out. I never when I saw the poster, I think I mentioned it before. I didn't make the connection between what I saw on the poster versus what you told me about vampires. I just saw a worm coming out of some lady's eyeball. That was
Yeah,
the only thing I saw
that's
in the
how
poster,
the
and that was
thing
the thing.
goes. Like that's how it starts to infect you. There's these little worms that go into your skin, and that's when you're screwed. If there's even one worm that goes into you, like
Hmm.
there's really no hope if it really latches on. So
So basically, they're parasites
yeah, it's
in
something.
many ways.
Yeah, like 'cause people on IMDb
All
are
right, well,
arguing what the correct terminology is, so I just go fuck it. You nerds just argue it amongst yourself. I don't care.
so with the fall season coming out, any other shows you're looking forward to on the free networks? NBC, CBS, CW, Fox.
I don't get HBO, so and I really can only catch up a lot with when I go to my fiance's revs. But the other HBO show I'm keeping up with is The Leftovers. But with fall shows, since like the season finale was last night for The Leftovers, uh, uh, fall series I'm looking forward to is of course Supernatural coming back for its 10th season.
Is it the last season, or they still got more to tell
I
about that
think it's
show?
the last one. But, it's such a popular show, it could get about 50 more seasons. I just,
I'm surprised it lasted 2 seasons, let alone 10. I can't believe it's been 10 years since that show been on the air. I'm just surprised. Any of the superhero shows you're gonna be watching?
uh, let's see, I know people have suggested Arrow to me, but I don't watch that, though I've been meaning to start watching that since it came out. And then there's a spin-off called The Flash, which I probably won't watch either. And then some of my friends will be bugging me to watch it.
You better believe it. A lot of people was looking forward to see a Flash something, whether it was a movie or TV show. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they do the Flash here. There is a show that's actually I don't think you actually heard about it. It's actually I'm gonna make this the first topic that I bring up since we're talking about TV shows and reboots. One of the reboots that a lot of people are actually is talking about, not in a very positive light, I can understand, is The Greatest American Hero. Now, I have grown up with the show briefly. It's not one of those shows that I have fond memories about. I think one of the last episodes I actually do remember was when the person passed over the guard to a woman, become the hero show, and I haven't heard nothing else since then. I don't know how many episodes they had to continue the show, but this is something that Fox is actually considering to bring back. I'm gonna have an article here. I'm gonna read it here, and it says here, "Believe it or not," which by the way is the theme song of the Greatest American Hero, which our fellow reviewer, entertainer, and actor comedian Brad Jones and from the Cinema Snob have adapted to his video series. Fox is giving a put pilot compliment to The Greatest American Hero, a remake of the cult classic 1980 series created by legendary producer Stephen J. Cannell. Now, this is reported by Dateline. The 21 Jump Street director Phil Lloyd and Chris Miller will serve as executive producers alongside Cadell's daughter and the pilot writer Randy Ruffman. It also says here that The Greatest American Hero ran for 3 seasons, so it didn't run too long, on ABC from 1981 to 1983. The following adventure of a public school teacher named Ralph after an alien gifted him with a red suit that empowered him with superpowers, including X-ray vision and the ability to fly and more. Naturally, Ralph immediately lost his suit instruction manual. It came with an
Of
instruction manual. It's
course.
very nice.
It has to be an American, so they have to lose their fucking manual.
Um, so figuring out how to use the suit was already an experiment, trial, and error. The article also says that Fox Updates takes on the series would be the hour-long um, dramatity with also intentional premises an inner city teacher named Isaac. So they're changing the whole entire thing. They didn't even put in the original guy, the original character in there. They changed it with a different character. Discovers a superhero suit that was given him superhuman powers, and after losing the instructions again,
Oh, but it's
he's
the
forced to
American,
master his.
remember? Oh yeah, I know.
he
Yes.
Yeah, we just need instruction manuals for this. He's forced to master the ability through trial and error, but he also has to deal with the government handlings who he rarely agrees with, as he struggles to deal with moral obligation and possession of a suit that he can't really control. So that's how they're gonna do the premises. Now,
Okay, so there's a whole
again,
anti-government.
you
Okay. That, like
it
I
sounds interesting. I will say that. But I'm. Here's the thing. I can't say because you was born in 1990s, right?
I was born in '86.
You was born in 1990.
'86.
Oh, you was
I
born in
was
86. I'm sorry.
yeah, you know the year Challenger went.
Okay. You was born in 1986. Okay, I was born in 1977, so I did
Full
see
part.
a good chunk of a lot of these 80s shows. I just seen the greatest American heroes from time to time. I don't remember any of the episodes for Troy. So to me, it's not. I don't consider Great American Heroes a an instant classic that everybody follows. I may be wrong. I know a lot of people will probably correct me on that. Um, but I don't consider the show that I say, does it really work as a remake? I don't know. I'd rather see them focus their energy on Gotham than focus on something that was really a comedy to begin with. On the other hand, you do have some good writers behind it, and I'm kind of curious on how they're actually going to spin it. Um, Again, pilot episodes doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's going to be picked up by the network. They just want to see how it goes. They may change something along the way, but you do have people who has a good history with comics, who has a good history with making shows like this. So it's worth at least checking out just to see how it works. They didn't say a release date. They didn't give us anything going on. They are considering it. I don't know. It's one of those toss-ups to me. What do you think?
I, the only thing I really know about American Hero is, the theme song Brad Jones and, making my fiance think I know more than I do by repeating the lyrics. Like if he starts, saying them, I can. I used to be able to just go perfectly, maybe the first verse. So, but
I
I don't
understand.
know. It's just I haven't really heard of any really cult following of it. So I don't think everyone will suddenly race towards it. Maybe if people are bored one day and just flipping through the channels.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I think that here's the thing with the show. It what day is actually the appropriate day to air this? I don't see it airing on the weekdays. It's impossible. First of all, it's not going to beat out any of the crime shows that's going to come out this year or next year because there's no guarantee it's going to even be a pilot episode this year. You're really not going to put in there no talk shows. The only time slot I actually see it is either Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon or Saturday night. I don't see it anywhere in between. This show, I don't see it surviving long on a slot where you have, Law and Order, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, or any of these other shows that are just basically going to destroy them in the ratings department. I mean, perfect example. The Monsters was a high-rated show, and it was a remake that people didn't think it was going to work, but it was actually very good, and it didn't last too long because of the stiff competition of the other shows.
Yeah, ratings can be a bit steep, and the shows that should go on for a while, and so you're stuck with like these great shows that get canceled early, and then these crappy shows that just go on and on. I am still a
Well,
little heartbroken over Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles getting canceled. I will still always be. So sorry.
well, it should at least had one more season. I was kind of stunned that they pulled the trigger that quickly, but I thought there was just a holdover to the new movie. So,
You
well,
can't
here's
just
the thing.
like
That's the thing about Fox, though.
they don't know how to
I
hold
don't
on to.
know if Fox is gonna. I don't know if that's true, but I don't know if Fox have patience for this show. I mean, many people already have doubt that Gotham's going to survive the year. So I think it's all depends. I'm not saying it's going to fail. I just think a lot of things have to happen. One of the things that have to happen is the fact is they're going to have to be patient, have good writing, and have the time slot where there's no fierce competition. And the only way I can see that is the weekends. The weekends is the only thing I can see of that can make this work. If not, then good luck beating The Simpsons. I mean, I'm being honest. Good luck beating any of these crime shows. Good luck beating CW, which, by the way, in my opinion, is the weakest of the whole entire major networks. But they have shows that definitely will outbeat them. You're gonna tell me that Great American Hero, which is pretty much a comedy to begin with, is going to actually beat Flash or Arrow in a head-to-head competition? Not going to happen. And even if they do, because from what I'm reading, it's going to be mixed with drama and comedy, which I don't have a problem with. If you're going to make a remake or a reboot, change it up. Make it something that is different from the show that's before. Just, but you got to understand that you already have a strike against you just by the fact that you're being put on a time slot that is familiar by other shows. So you're gonna have to really impress someone to say, "Hey, check out this show. I think this show is good." In other words, word of mouth will pretty much keep you afloat more than the Doritos and the baby powder that they show in the commercial.
Doritos. I want a Dorito now. Damn you for making me hungry.
I'm terribly sorry, but that's
Yeah.
one of the shows they are actually talking about. It's actually interesting. I'm not against it. I just think it's gonna be one of those things that's gonna have to really first of all, they have to have a great trailer, and two, they're gonna have to really get people to talk about it. Those who watch it the first time out, and if they fail on both of those, it could be a very long, very short-lived ride for the remake of Great American Heroes. Then I could be wrong. I could be very
Hopefully it
wrong.
at least does something. As long as this
Hmm.
isn't put on the Friday night death slot. It's those
Hmm.
if it's like at Friday night sometime that's like they think it's going to fail and they're just putting it there to die on its own to go, oh, sorry, ratings weren't good. How could this ever have happened?
Well, we'll see. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of shows coming out this year. We haven't touched on those yet. We probably touch on those the next episode because I really do want to have a list down, pack. I am very concerned about Gotham. If Gotham was actually put on the CW, my concern would be less because I think they have a better history of dealing with comic book adaptation than Fox does. But I am concerned. I am worried. But who knows? Maybe Gotham will shock the world and actually become one of the greatest crime dramas that they had since Smallville. Even though Smallville is technically a sci-fi show, but there's a lot of shows that's coming back that a lot of people have been talking about. I know a lot of people can't wait for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't know why. I don't know how is this show, out of all the Law and Order shows, this is the only one that stays afloat. Um, I am not looking forward for NCIS New Orleans or the new CSI. I'm not looking forward for any of that. I'm just I'm tired of crime dramas right now, so I just want some comedy now.
No,
I
you
really
like
am.
crime dramas. You shut up, sit your lazy ass on your couch, and watch those crime dramas.
They're the same thing. Like
Shut up.
they over exaggerate CSI, and I love CSI. Yeah, I love CSI. I love CSI. I watch every last one of them. Now CSI Las Vegas is the only true survivor of the bunch. I like CSI. I have no problem with it. But let's be honest. If in real life they don't, it's not as simple as they one may think it is on TV. Now they got the one with the internet one. I can't get the name of it now. The name escapes me.
LOL.
Um,
CSI.
that's what it is.
LOL.
I wouldn't surprise it is. I know it's on, I know it's dealing with internet crime, so it's now remixing forensic science with the World Wide Web. So I'd rather see CSI Miami. I would see Dave Caruso's bad acting. It's hilarious. But I'm being real. I find it funny that he's out of all the actors, he's the only one that over dramatic everything he does when he talks. That's why
William
they have the yeah. You got to see his one-liners. It's hilarious. But that's but I live for that. It's cheesy fun, but the show is very good overall. The show is very very good. I was mad when they canceled. I was surprised they canceled it. I was even surprised they canceled New York. I was surprised like see they canceled New York. So now there's new stuff coming on. I'll say just by the name alone, it's gonna have a good run, but I'm just not interested anymore. I'll just stick with one CSI. I'm happy.
Yeah, I actually don't really watch crime
I'm
dramas.
happy with it. All right. Let's move on. We have some very depressing news. I actually might as well just continue to talk about this. I've been keeping tabs on this for almost a week now. You heard about Joan Rivers. Uh, there's a lot of stuff that's been reported, but that was the only reason why. Because I made a video when this broke about 4 days ago. This happened. This was reported on a Thursday. It is now Monday. So, and I was going to talk about it, and I decided to hold back because there was just so much stuff being thrown on the World Wide Web. The news was talking about it. So many conflicted information that I just decided uh, not to post the video, just erase the video and talk about it either here or the Entertainment Roundup. But it is something of a sad situation. Her daughter is going to have to make a very tough decision eventually down the road, and it will bring a lot of questions towards the cosmetic, especially cosmetic surgeries, and how safe they are. Really, that's just something that's going to be unavoidable. You know how the media is. They're going to bring something up like this. They're going to have a conversation like this, and especially since rumors now that the family is considering suing the medical office for what has happened to Joan Rivers. Now, keep this in mind. We don't know the full details of what led to her getting cardiac arrest. We just know that from some of the reports, some conflicting, some not, that she went into this medical office to do surgery on her throat. and something happened which led her to go to cardiac arrest. Now, since then, she has been in a medically induced coma. There was reports that they was trying to bring her out of the coma. I don't know if that was successful or not, but she is on life support. Now, keep in mind, Joan Rivers is 81 years old, and the fact that she's 81 years old, the fact that she is in medically-induced coma, the fact that she's still in serious condition, there is a possibility that they may actually pull out life support. In fact, that they are actually thinking about it as we speak. So we don't know if she will ever recover. I hope she will. I hope she makes a full recovery. But from what I've been seeing the last few days, it doesn't look like it's in our favor. I am going to read the article here. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I will read the article. It says while the Rivers family members has been keeping vigil over fashion police commentary, her professional colleague and celebrity friend have also been tweeting. So a lot of people voicing their love and prayers. And it says here on Friday, a statement was issued by through her mother's website, thanking her friends and fans for all the kind words. My mother will also be touched by the tributes and prayers that we have received around the world. She wrote. This is the daughter who has actually been talking about. I believe her name is Melissa. Yeah, Melissa Rivers, who also at time for time I think she actually do um, co-star with her in her show. Uh, we ask for you to continue to keep her thoughts and her prayers for her recovery. It also says that Melissa River will decide in the next few days whether to remove her mother from life support, according to reports. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that, and this is something that was in the daily news that I've read before coming here, that there is consideration of a lawsuit here that they may actually decide to file a lawsuit against the medical hospital um, for the surgery that they perform, if they did perform. Because keep in mind, a lot of conflicting stuff on that particular part, because they felt that if that hasn't happened, that she didn't perform that surgery, if they didn't perform that surgery, she will probably be fine. She'll probably still be around. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know one thing. I hope she recovers. As for the lawsuit, I don't know how much ground they have. Um, you might both know that when it comes to some kind of medical procedures, we have a sit down with our doctors. The doctors explain the risk of some of these procedures. They also make it be known: are you sure you want to do these kinds of procedure? Do you want a second opinion? When it comes to cosmetic surgery, anything to deal with plastic surgery or some special nip and tuck surgeries, um, there is a possibility. It may be small. It may be like a small percentage. There's always going to be a possibility that something may go wrong. Now, Joan Rivers is not a young woman. Like I said, she's 81 years old. Why she wanted to have surgery on her throat to begin with, I will never know. But I will always assume that the older you get, the more risk you have to having a side effect or a reaction to something.
Yeah, because your
And
body's getting weaker.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know, and this is something a very good question is if she did do the surgery, because again, I'm getting conflicting evidence. One don't know if she did it. One don't know why she was there. One said she had surgery and went to cardiac arrest. So there's so much stuff going on that until I actually know exactly what happened in that medical room, I can't assume that she actually did the surgery. I'm assuming she possibly just went into cardiac arrest when she was in the hospital, reacted as best as they could, rushed to the hospital, and that's where we are right now. But even if that is the case, did they explain the risk she was taking by taking this surgery? That's one. Did she sign a waiver saying that the medical staff who's going to perform this surgery is not gonna be held accountable in case something goes wrong. That's two. So those are the things that I think that the Rivers family needs to also take consideration as how much did they actually tell the mother about the dangers of having this surgery? Why did she want to have the surgery? And if she signs something that keeps the medical staff um, away from seeing the lawyers in terms of lawsuits. What's your feeling on that?
It's clusterfuck of stuff. It's well, the thing that will probably happen will be people will blaming other people, and then you'll get this whole clusterfuck of it was your fault, and then somehow it will be
I,
resolved.
but I don't see. The thing is, I don't see how the Rivers family can actually say it's all the medical doctor's fault unless they didn't tell her the risk factors that it's going to. Because she's not young. I mean, if I'm a doctor, I'm telling her, hey, look, and this is a very intense surgery. Yeah, it may look like it's nothing wrong, but you know, there could be a reaction. It could be some side effects. It could make things worse than what it already is. Are you sure you want to have this type of surgery? And if she says yes, and if you tell her that, and if she understands the risk, I'm not. I don't know about you, but if I'm a doctor who's gonna perform that surgery, I'm gonna say, hey, sign this, please. I need you
I
to
know
sign this so that way anything goes wrong.
if people follow
I
things
mean,
logically, then yes, but I'm just worried that there's going to be some bullshit exposed on both sides. I just because yeah, I
well,
hope that it works out that the doctors say we explained the risks. It's not our fault.
yeah, and that's the whole thing because when I heard, and I had a funny feeling that was going to come out eventually. But again, I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm like, she's 81. I mean, her body already went through plastic surgery before. I mean, there's no secret that Joan Rivers did a lot of plastic surgery on her face and other parts that of her body. We know that she had done this. She made fun of it. Even she was good spirit about it. So I seriously doubt that now the doctors just say, "Oh, I must do this," and not think, put her age as a factor, or the surgery itself, and say, "Look, just to let you know, this is more complicated as you get older. You may have suffered a side effect. You may suffer a side effect that may not vote well. Are you sure you want this?" Or it may just the fact that she did have a cardiac arrest without doing anything. So I think before the family decides to sue the medical office, get all the facts straight first. Get everything. Get every statement that was happened. See what was written. Did she actually sign anything that states that yeah, I'm aware of the risk? Get everything done first, and don't even listen to the media because, like I said before, when this thing broke out, the first thing they said that she had cosmetic surgery on her throat, and I was like, why? She's not even a singer. That was the first thing that came to my mind. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just being real. I mean, why would you have cosmetic surgery on a throat? And next thing I know, there was other reports that stated that she went to the medical office, but she never. But there was no reason. There's no indication as to why. So she probably went there for a checkup for all we know. So to me is get everything first, find out what happened from which led to where we are now, and then proceed as appropriately. If they didn't explain it to them and they took the surgery knowing the risk, then yeah, you have every right to be upset. And they should have sat down, had a doctor to patient conference, and let them know. If they just did it just to the fact just because she's paying a whole lot of money, then yeah, then they should be held accountable for it. But get the facts first.
One of the problems with this day and age is that people want the views, people want the hits, people want, people to view their stuff, so they'll end up releasing things, before everything's been double and triple checked, even on news stations.
Yes, 'cause like I said, when this report came out, that was the first thing that came into the paper, the front page, and then there was like other reports saying that, hey, how you going?
I'm coming.
Where you going?
There's
There you
food.
are.
I'm sorry, this whole thing about Joan Rivers is making me hungry.
So you just want to get some bag of chips.
No, it's
All right.
breakfast stuff. Continue.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, something new. They caught me off guard over there. like I said, um, like I said, it's one of those things. I'm hoping that all the facts gets done first. I don't know what you're eating.
Food.
All right. Enough of Joan Rivers. Instead of making you depressed, I'm gonna move on. Let's see where this is. Yes, we have to talk about this. This one I did not expect to do a story on. I was actually debating whether I just keep it as a entertainment roundup, but you're here, so you might as well just talk about this. And I'll say this right now: there's only a certain amount of pictures I will ever post on either on Matic Expression, Twitter. Most of the time, I'm posting just fun stuff. I'm not posting anything personal, anything that will be that will come back later on to cost me my job. There are certain photos you just do not post on the social media network, and this also includes photos, intimate photos of your loved one with other boyfriend, husband, whatever, on certain storage areas like cloud, whether it be Apple or whatever cloud storage you use, because stuff like this can happen. According to the report that I have found out not too long ago, uh, there has been a massive leak of private photos done by hackers. Now, this is not the first time this actually has happened. In case you haven't remembered, a few years ago, Scarlett Johansson photos has been leaked, and they actually caught the person, and he is serving time in prison. And I believe he's up for parole soon. But the fact is, they hit him and they hit him hard because not only is he hacked into the photo, I think he showed it for a while, and this was very devastating. It was pretty much invasion of privacy. This is no different. And right now, there is a huge investigation going on to find out who these people are, to try to stop them to post any more private photos on the web. This is reported by the Hollywood Reporter, Alex Reitman, sorry, who have wrote the article. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. And it says here, in response to what has been described as the biggest celebrity hacking scandal in history, Hollywood stars who has seen private photos of themselves leaked online and turned to social media to express their outrage. Over 100 mostly female celebrities featured in the list of posted Sunday by the user of a website for change, alongside claims that they have found personal photos of or videos. Since then, images uh, purporting to be to be of the stars included Jennifer Lawrence, Andrea Gradell, Kristen Dunst, Kate Uprim has been circulating online, believed to be obtained, followed by iCloud security leak embedded by hackers and access virtuous phones. These hackers, guys,
Hey, look at, I have the perfect thing
if
for
they
you now,
want
this
some,
story. It's sake. I'll just gulp the last remaining bit of that because it's utter fucking bullshit. Just, there's, you sometimes you take intimate pictures of yourselves or videos, to people you trust, and these are private things. These aren't the things for the whole fucking world. It's like, uh, uh, Okay, if you view
it's
them
crazy.
and you like save it to your
I hope
computer,
they get caught too.
fuck yes. I mean, if you view these naked photos, save them to your computer, that's not really good, but some, at least if you don't start spraying them around going, hey, look at this link I found, look at these boobies. And the thing is, like, we have fucking sites where you can look at consenting women nude and jerk off, so what the fuck is like, oh, we need like these people that don't have consent and because they're celebrities and who the fuck gives a shit about their personal fucking lives anyways. So I woke up there.
Well, the federal government does, and I tell you right now, well, it won't take them long because they actually have done they have actually done good tracking down stuff like this. Like I said before, a guy who stole, and that's what they did. They stole Scarlett Johansson pictures. He is serving jail time for what he has done. And it's going to be no difference between this here. Right now, the some of these actresses are getting attorneys. One of the attorneys, Upton, I'm hoping I'm saying her name right, described the leak as outrageous violation of the model's privacy. In the statement, we intend to pursue anyone dis, discrimin pretty much distributing these pictures illegally obtained image um, to the fullest extent possible. And they should. I mean, because this is something that should not be tolerated at all from anyone, no matter if you're a star or not. But again, this raised the question, and I hope this answered the question to my friends who's going to be watching this soon. This is why I don't trust cloud storage because most of this stuff was taken by cloud, not just by their cell phones. Um, and because there's really no guarantee, one, that your stuff is actually safe, and two, God forbid somebody leaks in there, take what you need, take what they got, and next thing you know, they spread it all over the world. Personally, I will. The phones, yeah, they're digital now. They're more computers now than ever before. But to me, certain stuff I just don't, especially that says I know that someone can actually hack into your phone. I'll try and get it off my phone as soon as possible and put it in a storage where it cannot be contained online. That's just me. And you? What about you?
I don't really take many of those photos like at all, so and the only ones that do have it is my fiance, so and I trust him with that. I mean, he still has photos like of his one of his exes, and he hasn't sent that over off into the World Wide Web to get back at her. So it's just like he's. But yeah, if somehow it was leaked, that would just be like. I'm not ashamed of my body, but it's like only certain people are allowed to see certain parts. Everyone else, it's up to your imagination. It's like, wow,
It's
you have what's known as the internet. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a lot of titties there to view.
Well, I'll say this though. I'm just gonna send a message to those hackers out there who think this is actually kind of cool. This is a federal offense. You can spend up to 5, even 10 years in prison if you're caught. They do not play with this kind of stuff, and trust me, if they pursue it hard enough, they will find you, and that's the whole thing. This is not a game, and yeah, it is a violation of personal privacy. Those stars have every right to be angry. I know a lot of people are going to be saying, why are they taking new photos themselves? Here's the thing: if they're giving it to their husband or boyfriend, that's for them to decide.
It,
It's not like they're actually purposely throwing it out there. There are stars who purposely leak their own photos. There's no question. But this is not something they're purposely doing. And seeing how many people are blowing up real quick, you can bet they're not very happy about it. So I'm just keeping it real. They're not happy about it, and nor should they. Especially if they are taking it from their cell phones and a place where it's supposed to be stored in a more secure area. Can't be that secure if the hackers got it to it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's
So
just like people may want to say, well,
etiquette.
they took it themselves, so it's perfectly okay for us to violate their privacy because that makes sense.
Well,
Logic is going this
like I
way.
said, this is
Sorry.
hmm. Like I said, this is gonna be. It's gonna. I'm guarantee you, there's gonna be some response. It won't take them too long to find out who this person is. It will not because they're definitely going to go after them. And trust me, the feds they're just they. You thought the state level was bad. When it comes to this situation, feds are worse. So all right. So what am I missing here? I know I've got three stories left to talk about. And one is having difficulty loading up. I don't know why. Maybe because they can't wait for football season to start.
I don't care if
And
the
I'm worried
like
about my
football.
Jets because the Jets are just
This is my whole thing with sports.
even a full town though.
What? I live in Orlando. That's not
You're in a
really a
full
small
town though.
town. What? Again, I live in Orlando. There's a college like right down the street to me, and they have a football team. But it's like I don't get it. There's balls thrown and people cheer and people boo and people yell at the referee. I mean the
Well, I
only
tell you one.
sport I can halfway do is baseball. Besides that, it's like rink.
Well, that's something that they're not a fan of in Florida. I'm not saying that they're not fans there, but just you will find more college fans in Florida than you probably would baseball fans or
Yeah.
hockey fans for that matter.
What's
But
hockey?
I can't wait. I'm actually looking forward for week one. Hopefully, the Jets will not disappoint me this year. People are more concerned about the Giants. I don't know how it is with the Dolphins over there in Florida.
Uh,
That they are a lot of people are looking for Dolphin football, Jacksonville football, and Tampa Bay football. So that's three football teams right out there.
yeah, I know.
And you're not a fan of not one of them.
Dad's a Gator fan. He graduated from that university, UF.
Mm.
So yeah, that's like
All
I'll
right,
go
so
yay Seminoles just to annoy him, but I have no real opinions on the team. And there's of course the college right down the street, and he's a fan of that football team too.
all right, so I might as well just do the top blockbusters, and then I'm gonna do the hit and miss right after that. Before I do that, let me just do this here. Make sure I get ready for hit and miss because I almost forgot to click on that. All right, the top five box office are here. The results. I don't normally do it on a Sunday because they still having the numbers out. So Monday's always good because the official numbers are out
Oh
for
yeah,
that
it's
particular
Monday's
week. There is hardly any surprises here, for the exception of one. So I'm just gonna go up to the top five. I'll talk about the other movies that have made it out because there's a couple of new releases that came out that didn't do well. I'm gonna let you guess on what film that came out this week and didn't do well at all. But the number 5 film that came out this year was a Fox film. It's actually been out for 3 weeks. The film is called Let's Be Cops, a film that I had no interest of seeing. I just looked at the poster and just thought it was just silly. The film grossed $8 million. Um, this film has solo gross of 57 million. It made its budget. The budget was 17 million, so it's considered a hit. Number 4 is a film that just came out. It just made the number 4 list. It's called As Above, So Below.
I was like,
I
I'm sort of interested in it, but sort of not because I just don't really have a good. I just don't really like it, found footage movies, and that's what As Above, So Below is. So I might wait for like the DVD release and then watch it while drunk, because that always makes a bad
all
movie
right.
really good.
You really think it's you think it's that bad?
No, I don't think it's that bad. It's
Well, the
just
film
I don't like
drawed
found. I just don't really like found footage movies that well, and there's like maybe less than a handful that I will actually watch again and again.
all right, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, this didn't do too well in the opening. Well, it all depends how much money it cost to make. This is a found footage film, you said, and it only was a $4 million difference between Let's Be Cops. It drew $8.6 million. So that's their first weekend gross. I do not know the budget of this film, which always worries me that they don't want to show the budget of it. I probably will find out through Wikipedia. But this is their first week. So for a found footage film, uh, um, not bad.
Yeah,
This is
I
a film
know that
that
when they.
does.
Sorry.
Uh-huh. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Being like
I
a
was gonna go to
host
number
that
three. Go
I.
ahead.
um, they actually filmed it on location, and I watched a YouTube video where they like did a little interview behind the scenes, and the catacombs or they filmed at. It's really easy to get lost in. Like you can like yell in one part, and like someone saying like a foot away won't hear you. And so they were filming in that actual location. They, of course, didn't go that far in, but I think like the actors were still sort of creeped out by how like weird it was.
Was that
Sorry.
film done on real time?
I don't know.
Was that
Think
film done on real time?
I don't know. I just know it's filmed on location.
Well, first week, 8 million. Who knows how long it's gonna stay in theaters? Um, I tell you what, they did better than the other film that was released, and I'll get to that later. If I Stay. Now this film has been out for 2 weeks. This film is like they're saying is a one of those family movies, not family movies, Lifetime films that should have been in Lifetime channel instead of the movie theaters. And it's in just a second week it drawed $9.3 million. Now the budget for this film is 11 million, and it has so far $29 million to its credit. So the film is considered a hit. It may not be a blockbuster hit, but for how much they spent for this movie, how long it's been out, it did well. It did well. I think Warner Brothers is very happy with the chump change they have gotten for this film.
Yeah, it
Now
was
I
about the
am.
one girl that died and has to choose between staying on Earth or going to the next life. And like the
It's
trailers.
pretty much an out of body experience.
What?
The problem with this movie, and I'm actually planning to see this movie. I am planning to see this movie. The problem with this movie is, if you see the trailer, you saw the movie.
Yeah, that's
Technically,
like
you saw the movie because they gave away almost half the stuff.
that's actually what I loathe. Like
Go
I've
ahead.
been trying to do like a bunch of trailer reviews, but long story short, that isn't. I'm not doing as many as I want to, but because I consider trailers their own little short movie form, and I like watching like older trailers, and that's a big problem. It's like they give the entire movie away. It's like, then why the hell would you, go see the movie if you already saw it? I mean, even if it's a crappy movie, don't give everything away so people will see it. I think there was like, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was this whole roller skating one. They gave the whole fucking thing away, every cliche line that's like, well, now I don't have to waste my money on it. I spent 2 minutes of my time and I saw the whole thing.
Well, they are trying to change that. I think the new rule, they're actually doing the final touches of that. That they can only one, they only can give out two trailers a year, and two, they cannot give too much because the movie theaters. and I'm glad they're speaking up against this now. Complaining that you're giving too much away for these trailers. Stop doing this. You're hurting our revenue. So,
So acting out. I would punch someone, but no one's. I don't really have a punching dummy.
uh, well, it is what it is right now. Hopefully they'll fix it. Hopefully they will fix it. But that's the thing about If I Stay. It still made money, so I can't complain about it. They made their money.
You,
It's
you
considered a
can't
hit.
complain about it.
Number two, no surprise here. Hmm the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Um, I almost called them gerbil by accident.
Gerbil,
I don't know
gerbil,
why.
gerbil.
But 4 weeks out in theaters, still doing his thing. 11 million, about 1 million shy for being 12. This budget was 125 million. It just passed its budget on its fourth week. It had made 162 million dollars total. And yeah, I'm pretty safe to say that there will be a sequel coming out this year. I have yet to see this movie, largely because I want to see other films before I see this film. This film is not. I'm not rushing to see a Platinum Doom film. I heard some pretty interesting praises about the film at the same time. Pretty negative stuff by the same people who praised it.
I
So
love seeing
it's pretty
fans.
much a mixed bag.
Yeah, I like seeing the like angry
Hmm
fans like saying they changed this. Why the hell did they did this? And like, I'm not a fan of it, so I can just like listen to all this ranting with no real consequence to me.
Well, it's strange because the movie you would expect to be a lot of ranting on it, and it's not. I mean, there are some people who see it that the film is not great, but there was some stuff that you could say at least it was trying, and it's been very consistent on the stuff that did work versus the stuff that didn't work. Basically, from what I'm gathering is they didn't know what to be kind of film they was trying to make. Was it serious? Was it goofy? And I think they try to juggle both. Well, for one thing I know is they liked it how they portrayed on the turtles a little bit, and they also liked the fact that the story was actually better than what it is. I just think the acting was not as good, and I think some of the action scenes was just typical Michael Bay. But who knows? I mean, I gotta see it for myself to actually give it a full review on it. Hopefully, when I see it, it won't upset me like one person did I saw, but he's upset by everything that Michael Bay does, so I can't really take him
Oh,
too
who?
seriously. So, uh, number one, I don't think anybody is going to be surprised. Uh, Guardian of the Galaxies, which I believe has been declared by a lot of people that is the highest grossing film this year. The film packed in another additional 17 million in the box office. 5 weeks and in the theaters. The theater count is 3,462. That is actually a plus. So more theaters have actually took this movie in. That's actually a good sign because normally they start taking movies out. Like for instance, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have made 11 million dollars, and the theaters that had actually pulled out was 321. So they lost 321 theaters since then. Right, so that's when you start seeing when they start pulling out from the theaters. The film this is American gross only. They made a lot more money if you packed in the international gross and the American gross. The gross for American is $275 million. Their budget is 170 million. So word of mouth plus great reviews have really championed Guardians of the Galaxy. And again, this is a film that was supposed to fail. Many of the critics or super analysts have said this will be Marvel Comics' first big bomb that they ever have.
Oh yeah,
Well,
it was a
I
big
guess
bomb, all right. It
yeah,
was
it bombed right up to
fucking
the charts.
awesome. It's so
Yeah,
far on
so
my top five list of this year. I constantly update
mhm.
when I see new movies released, And right now it's situated at number 2 on my list. Like it is a
Oh wow,
really
you really like it that much.
yeah, it's like it would do number 1, but nothing can beat out the Normal Heart because basically both films affected me, it sort of the same but different ways. Like The Normal Heart was tearjerker, total tearjerker, while Guardians of the Galaxy was fucking funny. I mean, if Dad wasn't by me, I would control myself a lot less. I still mean to go see it again, but like the past few weeks, I haven't been able to. And I usually don't like if I see a
Well,
movie one time, like that's okay. Then I'll wait for the DVD. But this is like I need to see it once a week, once every day.
you really love this movie.
Oh, it is
Well,
fucking
this movie ain't
awesome.
going anywhere anytime soon. This film is an absolute hit.
It's
Yeah,
like
this film was. All right, now let me tell you about the film that didn't make the top five. Um, and
gonna be a good one.
we already know about As Above, So Below. That was the first one to premiere. It premiered number four. This was a film starring Pierce Brosnan. I actually like Pierce Brosnan acting, and yeah, I don't think too many people even knew this film was coming out, or just didn't care. But the film November Man premiered uh, in number six, so it didn't make it. Let's Be Cops beat them out. They made $7 million, 7.8 million, and according to they are in 2,777 theaters. Again, they are not showing you the budget of this movie. But for what I'm getting here, because it did said they had a total gross of 9 million, which I'm kind of surprised that that did not account for the movies here. I don't know what the reason for that, but they definitely didn't do too well. Maybe they had a special screening or something that they didn't count as the normal premiere. But it premiered in sixth place. This is their first week. Another film that barely scratched the surface. It actually made his money, but just enough to cover the expenses. That was When the Game Stand Tall. I don't know if you heard of this film.
Oh, that's another bullshit. A sports movie that hey we lost for the first time. Woo! Sorry, sorry.
Well, that
Not
was out.
sorry.
That was out 2 weeks. It made $6 million. It just it just made it past their budget, but it is still considered a letdown, especially for TriStar, who is trying to rebuild their brand after being pretty much out of that for a while. The biggest bomb in this whole thing, and let me explain this. Um, Sin City, a game to kill for. I hope the game to die for, or kill for, whatever it is they want to call it these days. I call it Sin City 2. This film was released last week, and guess what place they're in?
12?
Guess what place they're in? They are now in, jeez, 14th place.
Fuck.
This
Well,
film only made.
I'm glad
This,
the sequel was a big hit.
oh no, it's not. It's a big miss. I mean, this is a big disappointment. I mean, 2 weeks into theaters, this film grossed only $10 million total. This week they only had $2.2 million. So this is a big, big miss. I
Hit.
believe this was released by Warner Brothers and Dimension, and right now they are not happy with the numbers they're seeing. This was heavily anticipated, and it just only made $10 million. Now again, this is one of those movies that didn't want to show the budget. Now if I should go to Wikipedia to see just how much this film was supposedly the budget is. They're normally good in being consistent with the budget because I am curious as to how much this film costs. But you better believe if the film that came out only 2 weeks, 2 weeks. only made a total of $10 million with an all-star cast. No cheap cast here. This is an all-star cast you have here. You got Mickey Rourke, Bruce Willis, Eva Green, who's my favorite actress. And you have Robin, whose name escapes me. I'm just saying.
Joseph Gordon.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Sorry, I was combining like
Love
a
it. You
person's
have an
name. I was-
you have an all-star cast, and
you did
this
awesome.
happened. Wow. I mean, I'm I'm gonna look at the like I'm clicking too many buttons here. I'm gonna look at how much this budget was. I have to because this people talk about Kick-Ass 2 being a failure. Kick-Ass 2 made its money back. It just didn't make enough to actually that the studios wanted. I can't blame them. They were expecting big things, and it didn't happen that way. This was not even close to what they wanted to see. This was a huge bomb. This probably is one of the biggest bombs this year. Period. There's no way there's no way. And I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
I'm here right now.
Would this help you
Uh,
out any?
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna look for it. I got it. I just my computer's this one plague me right now and say we're gonna make it easy for you.
I think
Now what happened when you click saying finish up? It's there. I got it. I just got to look for it right there. But yeah, this is an all-star cast. When you have an all-star cast with Bruce Willis, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jessica Alba, Eva Green, Mickey Rourke, and a lot of other people, I'm pretty sure I'm missing out. You can't afford to fail.
yeah, it's just you
And
have
that's
a
exactly what happened. This film got beat. People really wasn't feeling Sin City, and a lot of people have made um, some suggestion as to what went wrong. Um, and I'm not blaming Frank Miller for it. I'm not a big fan of Frank Miller being a director, but you had Robert Rodriguez with him, so it's not like he was directing all by himself. A lot of people have said straight up and down that the reason why this film failed was the simple fact is they took too long to make it, and everybody lost interest of it.
I actually haven't
Being
seen
that
all
the
of the
people,
first Sin City movie.
I've seen the movie and I read the books, and I think the books are very very good. There's only one book I didn't like, but everything else about the book I actually found it very fascinating. I actually enjoyed it. I think the movie, for what it's worth, actually done a good job of following the source material very well. Um, but again, okay, here we go. Let me see if let me see how much this film cost them to make. Now they made all right. Wow.
What?
The budget of this film is $70 million.
Holy fuck! Like, I'll lend you all the rest of my sake for that. Just like I'll send the rest of like the studios because holy fucking shit, that's bad.
So so
They're
they only
staring
made
to the abyss
$10
and the
million
abyss is
dollars.
staring back.
That's not good. That is not good at all. I mean, $10 million, and you have a $70 million budget. I'm spinning the camera. Let me find out. Let me check something out here.
Oh,
Frank Miller. Frank Miller. This is a. I like the theater poster though. It says here that it's recently. All right, let me see what the Rotten Tomatoes says because here's the stories they have here for the plot. Just another Saturday night, a long bad night. Part one. Um, a dame to kill for. A long bad night. Part two. Nancy's last dance. Um, And it says here that let me see. I'm trying to find out the actual Rotten Tomatoes here. All right, critical response. Yeah, it was mixed. Like I said, it was not like it was a bad rating, but it's still on the negative side, 46%.
Oh,
I don't consider that's mixed to bad. Because I know New York did not like it. I know the New York critics did not like it at all. But some of the people who know noir, who dig these kind of cinematography stuff, they actually did enjoy it. Probably more so than anything else. So it's pretty much an acquired taste. But I did not expect. I'm being honest. I did not expect this film to be this much of a bomb. I honestly didn't. $70 million, and you only made $10 million in return. I don't know what to say. I'll leave that to you. I don't know what to say.
that's like a here. Here is good. Here is what the whatever the fuck happened is way over there.
I think they waited too long. I
Yeah,
really do. I think that they waited too long to bring this movie out. I
that's
think
the
they was
problem.
relying on the fans to come out. I think the people just lost interest in it.
Yeah, it's like
One
you
thing
wait.
also is interesting to know that Ghostbusters 30th anniversary was re-released. It made a nice $1,750,000. So hooray for Ghostbusters, if you really care.
I care about
Yeah, but that's
everything.
pretty. Yeah, but that's. Yeah, that's.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
but
still an
yeah,
interest.
Frank, that is the biggest bomb that has happened. Um, yeah, that's not a good sign. um, Expendables 3 was considered to be a bomb as well. So that's also something. I guess I'm not kind of surprised by that because from what I've been hearing from a lot of people, they just wasn't feeling the fact that you have a film. The first two films was very R, and you also said you want to be friendly and sanitize the whole thing by making the third one PG-13.
Wait,
Even
wait, wait,
though,
wait, wait. Third one's PG-13.
yeah, they're Expendables. Yes, PG-13.
Oh,
Did you know that?
wait, wait, wait. Just hang on. The Expendables is fun because shit goes down. I'm not usually a big person with ratings, but it's just like all the only enjoyment out of the Expendables movies is shit going down, and with our rating, there's a lot more shit going down. So, okay, there's my review.
Hey, hey, that. Hey, look. I'll say this: the ratings for it was not bad. I mean, people did still find some enjoyable stuff in it. I'll still watch it just to see Mel Gibson become a bad guy. I want to see that. I mean, anything else, I will see how he plays the bad guy because
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've seen a Mel Gibson film.
yeah.
So just
What
for
about
that,
that
I'll
one
watch it.
Cooper
So
film? You know,
eh,
with him with the hand puppet.
the Beaver, I
Yeah,
haven't seen that.
I haven't
That
either.
film never even came to my neighborhood.
I've never seen it either, but the trailer is just like you're trying to say you're trying to recover Gibson. This isn't the way. I talk to hand puppets. Totally sane. Kill the Jews. I'm going to hell.
Uh, I'll just let me just see what's new releases that come out. Because I said that I was gonna do that.
Yeah, you did.
No releases. There we go. I'm gonna check that out right now because I want to see what new releases are. Because new releases are one of the stuff that I actually like to do. I'm not looking for red box. No. All right. There are sequels that why are you clicking on that? All right. Let me. Now my computer decided to play with me.
Oh,
I think too
Skynet.
many buttons. But this we're now approaching the fall release schedule, and The fall release schedule will be very interesting. I am not buying anything from iTunes, and this year, for some reason, despite the fact we had a couple of mega blockbuster hits, despite the fact that the films, the majority of summer films, did its job, became blockbusters. There are a lot of reports that says this was the worst summer since 2006.
It's the worst
How's
summer
that possible?
ever. What has happened to the movie industry? When... Okay, continue.
I'm just don't know how it's possible because I would think this has actually been a good year for the summer blockbusters, better than the ones 2 years ago. Because there was a lot of bombs 2 years ago.
No, I
This has
just
not been
don't.
that many bombs.
I just don't take any
So
reports of this is the worst whatever like summer seriously just because people have a tendency to exaggerate. You know, if something can't be good, it has to be the best thing ever. If something just can't be mildly bad, it has to be the worst thing ever.
yeah, but overall, even if it was bad, I think that if you're a studio, which they do check on a lot, you're not looking at how good or bad the movies are. Let's be realistic here. I mean, the theater, if the movie makes money, that's all that matters to them because they keep making Transformers, and these films got worse and worse each year.
What
And
do you
yet,
mean
but
this
it
time
makes three
the
hundred million
newest
dollars.
Transformers has dinosaurs in the last like 5 minutes, I've heard.
That's been true. I'm trying to find out what the new. I think I gotta put a date on these things because they're not giving me anything. I'm surprised they still got movie phone. Um, Let me just put down. What's Friday? The
What's
fifth.
Friday? Hang on.
Friday's the fifth, right?
Yep.
Losing track of time. All right, let me just check here. I'm gonna go and click that because I'm getting so many different things. I'm getting DVD releases. That's the whole thing. So I gotta remember. Okay, here we go. All right, now we got something. Now we're getting something. We can't do a hit or miss without new releases. All right, all right. We're gonna make a prediction just as soon as this thing starts to make up its mind to come up my screen. But let's. I'll explain the hit and miss situation a little bit. I haven't got a chance to talk to you about that yet. Hit and miss a few years ago I used to do as a side thing for my channel. Um, I used to bring all the movies that was going to come out. I used to pre-record it, and I used to say, "Okay, this is the movie that sounds like it's going to be a hit." I also look at the movie where I felt there's going to be a miss, and I look at the films that's going to be in the middle. I'm judging this based on the budget. That's one, and most of the time, just to see what appeal they have based on the trailer that I've seen, based on the star power it has, and I decided which one will actually do well versus the film that is actually in that middle one where it can do good or bad. The film I just knew was going to bomb. So far, just to let you know, I am actually 2 for 4 in these predictions. And one of the films that I actually was stunned lost was Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh, that was a
And they
fucking
lost to the
awesome
Smurfs,
movie.
of all things. Yeah, and they lost to the Smurfs. More people saw the Smurfs than they saw Cowboys and Aliens.
I remember
Yeah, it didn't do well
Harrison
on
Ford.
box office at all.
Yeah,
Many people did not. All right,
Harrison
there
Ford
we go.
was
Now we got it.
on Conan, and so he's there, you know, promoting Cowboys and Aliens, and he's taught.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, Conan hands him a big, you know, stuffed Smurf, and so Harrison Ford just rips off the head and places it back on the desk. He wasn't
He must
pleased.
not like the movie. Yeah, but the
Plus, I
Smurfs
think
beat
he
out
thought.
Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah.
Mhm. I,
Oh.
I was I was madly disappointed. I knew that Winnie the Pooh might not make it, and I actually wanted to do because it wasn't that much money, but it was one of those films that came out at a time where, and especially in New York, do you really gonna spend $12 to $13 or $15 to see a film that's only 1 hour and 5 minutes long? Answer is not really. So that was the
If
whole
it's
thing
someone
about this.
else's money,
Yeah,
and
but you know what? You take your kids with you. You're not watching it by yourself.
yeah.
All right, here's the movies that. Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna go right down to the wire. This film, there's a lot of movies coming out this September. I got the whole calendar here. Okay, almost there. This goes all the way to September 12th. This is actually loading up. I still can't believe they made a sequel to this. Well, I might as well talk about these films anyway, because this is the September lineup, and once they get the ones that come out this week, I will actually talk about it. On September 12th of this year, there is a couple of movies that will be released that year. No Good Deed, which I actually seen the poster for. Rufus Alba is going to be in that film. Dolphin Tales 2, which I'm stunned that Dolphin Tales 1 actually made money.
I just like me
Uh,
and Rev were both confused. Like, wait, sequel? And you can tell like the sort of the poster thing at the end of the trailer. They just barely touch it up. It's like one minor and I'm like, totally new movie.
well, I'm gonna say it like this: if I gotta choose between the two, No Good Deed actually, depending on the budget, could be a hit. Dolphin Tales 2, I want to say miss, but
But it's
I don't
probably going to
know.
be.
I mean, it's not
Well,
Dolphin Tales 2. You think so?
I'll take the hit. You can take the miss, and one of us will lose. I mean, if it becomes a hit, both of us will lose. So. And no good deed.
you know, I want to say miss so bad. Yeah, No Good Deed. What do you
Yeah,
think about that one?
I've, I
Have
think,
you seen the trailer?
yeah, I've seen the trailer, and I think it might do like in the middle. I just don't see it being a soaring success.
Well, I'm hoping it does because I actually like the actors in this movie. I actually think it'll be very interesting. Um, actually they haven't said too many of other films that came out. This is the 12th of September. So that's the two films that they have brought up. I don't know why they ain't bringing up the first week of September. Maybe because they don't want to, or maybe because it's just loading up still. On September 19th, there are three films that's going to be released. No, actually four films. There's a lot of films coming out this year. Hector reminds me of Hector from Spill.com. And The Search for Happiness. That's one of them. I can't pronounce his name if my life depends on it. I'm let you read it out. Tusk. I don't know how to pronounce that right. I'm saying
Tusk.
Tusk. That's one. The Maze Runner, which I heard about, that's one.
I think that's going to
The
do
Zero.
good. If the adaptation is good, I think it'll attract fans. Fans will, of course, be going to see the movie, and then maybe new people will be attracted to. And the trailer does look interesting. I've never read the books, though. I've nearly finished up with the Giver Quartet, so I might head over to the Maze Runner series. So.
Okay. And you have two other films here. This thing is acting up like crazy. Oh my god. They have zero, zero, zero something, zero thrill, there's some Theorem.
Zero Theorem?
Yeah, there we go. You said
Sorry.
it very, very good. I think this is the one where Cumberbatch is in it.
Oh,
I'm
Cumberbatch.
pretty sure it's the one that was talking about. I may
Yeah,
be wrong. I may be wrong on that one. But that's one.
yeah. If
And you have
Cumberbatch in it with
Fortena
Dan, what?
for Fontana Terra.
Fuck it, I don't know.
F R O N T E R A.
Okay, I still
You
I
can't pronounce
gotta
it.
I don't know what the hell it's about.
F F R
No, you don't need to keep
F
on
R.
saying
I'm sorry. FRONT.
front.
Okay, there it is. And that one's coming out on the 25th. So there's a lot of films coming out. Another film that's coming out is actually a film I'm actually looking forward to. But here it is. It's going to be the Two-Face of January, The Equalizer. I don't know if you know, there's another Popeye film coming out. The Box Troll and Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the
That's
Shell.
your September lineup right there, minus this week. Now I've played the video game of Ghost in the Shell. I haven't seen the animation of Ghost in the Shell,
Yeah, I've
but I am
the
interested in seeing
anime.
Ghost in the Shell.
The anime film. I've seen some episodes of the TV show, and the movie is definitely earns its place as a classic, and I would suggest you actually watch it. I'm not like a huge anime
Yeah.
nerd, but I've
I'm just curious if people remember it though. That's the whole thing. Um, this is a film that I'm actually looking forward to seeing. The Box Troll. They've been advertising this all over New York City. It
the
looks interesting. It looks
trailers look so
promising. I mean, the
cute.
title alone is not something that everybody's jumping for joy over, but overall, it looks fun to watch.
It looks cute. It looks pretty. And then I like how in the at least one of the trailers they like show you how everyone's setting, the things up, and then they start moving around. I mean, it doesn't really tell you what it's going to be about, but still, it's like you have my interest.
Popeye. I didn't even know they made a remake.
I don't know.
Um, I'm just gonna hold judgment on that until I see a trailer because I can't really say much about it. But what I can say is Denzel Washington's highly anticipated Equalizer.
What's that about?
He starred in it, and of course, it was. I honestly can't really say, and I saw the trailer. It does look like he is a former hitman who was then dragged back into that world thanks to a teenage girl played by Chloe Grace Moretz. Um, and he's basically looking to seek revenge because she was attacked. Um, the trailer didn't give too much specifics, but from what I've seen in the trailer, and I don't know. I don't know what to think of it honestly because I got to see another trailer. I don't know what to say. Denzel Washington, he looks like he's about to take care of business. And anytime when you see Denzel, have you seen Man on Fire?
Yeah, I believe I have. I actually think have the DVD.
It's something close to that. Yeah,
Oh
it's
my.
something close to that where he's just taking out names.
Yeah, I just
So
the
that's
one
how I can best
I
describe
remember
it. So
the one scene from Man of Fire that I remember, even if I forget about it and you just say the title of the movie, it's when he sticks the grenade up the person's ass, walks away, and there's an explosion.
yes, that's the movie. That's the movie Man on Fire. It definitely has that feel to it, and he can pull it off because he's an excellent action star. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that people don't give him enough credit for playing action films enough. But I think he can pull off. The thing about the trailer, though, and this is just me, I don't think the trailer does justice to the movie. And because they had a music, you know how they have sometimes have music in a trailer. Out of
Yeah.
all the music they could have chose, they picked that one music that just see the trailer, you understand. It picks up one music that makes it sound like this film is going to be a PG-ish type film, and you listen to the music, and you see what's going on in the trailer. Like
What's
this music don't match.
what's the music?
Hello, you got to pick a better music. At least with Fifty Shades of Grey,
Oh,
the
50.
music match what's going on in the
Yeah, like
trailer.
the music, the 50 Shades of Grey
They
trailer
don't.
was the only good thing in the damn trailer. It's like if I had known that it was going to be a piece of shit, I might actually want to see it. I'm going to finish the trilogy one day.
Hold on a second. YouTube. Yeah. Look for me, Jackalee77. Jackalee77. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. Somebody wanted to know
Hi,
where they can
random
find me on
person.
the channel. uh, I had to give them the information. But yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, that's what happened when you podcast live in a cafe. Everybody hears you. But like I said, I am looking for the action perspective and the fact that Denzel Washington is playing pretty much an assassin. Because the one that got me hooked on that, and that's just why I say this is gonna be a hit. There's no way I'll be stunned if this is a miss. I don't see this as a miss because this has been they have promoted this film for almost 8 months. 8 months they've been talking about this film, The Equalizer. I'm like, wow, they really. And when I finally saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, this guy is looking at everybody. He's timing himself how long it's going to take him to beat these guys up. He's like looking at his watch. Okay, 1 minute, something seconds. Boom, boom, bow, bow, bow. Look at his clock. I said, yeah, I beat my record. All right, I'm good. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Equalizer. I'm just pumped up just by seeing it, just by talking about it. I haven't seen the movie yet. But that's a film that I'm actually looking
Like
forward to
the
seeing. Uh,
Monday after you see the movie, I'll just like let you, you know, go on about it for an hour and just sip coffee.
I'm not gonna do that. So when I do my reviews, I do it pretty much depending on what the reviews I'm doing. Like I just finished finally recording last night. I came home a little early last night because this place actually closed at 8 o'clock. I'm not in my usual 10 o'clock spot. Otherwise, I would have been on a lot longer. I recorded Captain America. I actually finally got that done.
Well, that the
So I'm doing
second
all the
one was
more.
good.
Yeah. So kind of surprised that everybody hates the first one for some reason. I'm like, why? I mean, did you
Oh
see
wait,
1989's version?
the 1989 version with Rob Brown was perfect. Reb Brown or whatever was perfect. You don't, yeah, it was crap.
Web
I
Brown,
haven't
Web
seen it, but
Brown.
whatever. I saw a
I've seen
Scooby's
it.
review.
To be fair to Red Brown, to be fair to Red Brown though, I'll say this: he was in a decade where no studio, whether it's Warner Brothers, Fox, whatever, didn't took any of the comic book characters seriously. So I
Yeah.
can't fault Red Brown for that. I mean, you got to see the Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man movie from 1970s. It's hilarious.
Okay,
It's
okay,
entertaining,
slight
but it's just
tangent.
crazy.
Slight tangent. We were talking about Doritos. Now we're talking Captain America. Have you seen the pictures like on Tumblr of people comparing Chris Evans' body shape to Dorito, like his back?
No, I haven't. I
You,
gotta go check a look at my Tumblr page. I haven't seen any of it. I've been trying to avoid Tumblr for a while, and actually, I'm only reason I want to go back up there because you're there.
yeah.
But to me, Tumblr is that's like the lawless of the internet, and I think we talked about it before. I mean, there's stuff they've been putting in that I just couldn't believe, and I'm pretty sure that's what gave Mad
That,
Expression the most problems when it comes to webs. But of course, that's just my opinion. Yeah. So those are the films that's actually coming out. They are not giving me the film that's coming out this week. I'm depressed.
what
They're
film?
not telling me what it is. Uh, the film that's supposed to come out this coming Friday. They give me every film, every date, but it's almost like they forgot this the first week of September is not even here.
No, I
I guess
need
this is a
that.
big secret.
I need to get this like little penguin, like little tiny machine gun to hold for situations like these. So like if one of us is angry, I could just bring him out. Sorry. Like,
Well,
hi,
well,
penguin.
let's see if I can get one more last attempt because I actually want to talk about that, the communities. I'm gonna try Google this time because I'm using Yahoo. I should
Fuck
have known
yeah.
better. But
Fuck yeah. But I would help
Yahoo,
you
but
out, but by
I gotta say
this
Yahoo didn't.
But by this time of, the recording, the computer would be going slow, so I, not on Skype anymore, not doing anything but this Hangout. And my hands are doing weird
All right,
things.
that's fine. I'm gonna see what Google will definitely tell me. Google is trying to rule the world, so they'll definitely tell me
Skynet.
if they that's what they are. I mean, they bought out how much did they bought out this year?
I don't know.
How many? Seriously, I mean, every time I turn around, they bought Twitch. They bought some robot that I never even knew exists. Every time I turn around, they're like Disney. They're like buying everything. I think by the end, it'll be this Disney and Google together. Be the last two standing before the generation's over. All right, let me find out as soon
Now
as
I'm just
they.
imagining a scenario of them being personified and them going after each other with their own little armies.
I wouldn't be surprised that's true. I'm actually very scared about all these big companies buying all these smaller companies. I mean, who's going to be left? I mean, there's no competition. I mean, maybe I'm overlooking it, but every time I turn around, Google bought something,
It's
Disney
dangerous
bought
when
something.
someone has a monopoly on, anything, because then it becomes far from easy for, differing opinions or changes to be made. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I
I
have
hear
to
that.
contact Fusinator
Week
about
movie release. Okay, let me see if I can find out what movie's coming out. I should have known this, but all right, I'm clicking it, so God knows it's gonna be a while. All right,
Hey,
this
Macarena.
week movie release. All right, this week movie release. New movies in theaters. They actually sent me the IMDb. Kind of surprising. And as usual, taking their sweet time.
Okay, so,
Taking this.
what world
So while
problems
I'm
do we
waiting for
have to
this,
solve?
do you have any kind of upcoming shows you want to talk about? What was that?
I was just talking about being sarcastic about solving the world's problems while we let it load. Let the page load. But
Uh,
anyways, the Josh talks.
now I got it. Now,
Okay, good. Just said something about this chart.
go ahead, do it. Cause I'm do it. Go ahead,
Okay,
go.
Josh Talks should be on for this week, hopefully, and it will be the whole Guardians of the Galaxy podcast review. And I'm thinking of doing like
Oh,
different
really?
reviews on the show down the line. And so joining me this week it should be, of course, Omar, my co-host. And if he doesn't show up, there's no podcast. And my guest this week should be
Mm-hmm.
Keytor84 and Jim B. So Keytor84, the
We got a
last
lot of.
episode was really good. And I
All
have
right,
an
so you definitely
upcoming.
got.
Yeah. And Keytor84 should be one of the co-hosts for my Animorphs podcast, Zone 91, which is basically a rereading of the entire series. And since it's a long project, I decided co-hosts can drop out and come back in because it's 64 books. And I don't want anyone joining me for that long without them
Mm-hmm.
wanting to. And the reason the premiere episode is delayed is because Rista, my first co-host, has started college, and so her schedule is beyond busy. And I would choose another co-host for the episode, but the thing is, she helped set it up. She helped me come up with a name. And so, I'd feel really bad if I didn't have her in the premiere episode.
All right, so that's definitely going to be looking forward to that. Um, Anything else you want to share about your projects, blogs, or anything, and how they can find your work as well?
Yeah, you can find me on jashikins.blogspot.com, and I list all the other places I am on the web. So, if you want to check out my fiction press or fanfiction account, fanfiction.net account, you can check those things out there. So, Vlog
All
reviews,
right.
original
Um,
series. And let's continue with this show. Because if I start listing all my
all right.
projects, we'd be here forever.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk about my stuff at the very last minute. That would pretty much be the final segment. I'm not done yet. I'm finally. And for the record, Yahoo, Bling. This is why people use Google. It didn't took me long to find the new releases. It took me forever to find some of the September stuff. Just thought to keep in mind if you want to improve your site, make searching more easier. But there are some films that are coming out on September 5th. The Identical, which I have no clue what this is. According to this, it's PG-13. It's 107 minutes. It's a drama, and the description says two brothers are unknowingly separated at birth. One of them becomes a iconic rock and roll star, while the other struggles to balance his love for music and pleasure, and pleasing his father. Sorry. The film is directed by Dustin Mattel. The film stars Blank Ryan, Ray Loretta, Ashley Judge, and Self Green. This film is scheduled to be released on September 5th. I got to see the trailer to see what this film is like. I may actually do a trailer review on this. Um, I am looking at the poster as I'm speaking to you right now. It looks
Okay.
like a nice poster. It looks very cool. I actually like the poster, which is nice. To me, I'm not really into live photo posters too much because they always seem to be the same damn thing. But this looks interesting. To me, I don't know. I think for music fans, they may like it, but I don't see this film being a hit. I see it being a miss for the simple fact is, did you heard about this film coming
I
out?
haven't heard about it, and then it sounds really cliche. I mean, back to the Prince and the Pauper sort of things. You got the Parent Trap. No, it's just like it's been done over and done before. So unless it has something really unique to the story to tell, it's no.
In other words, been there, done that. Well, this film is a re-release. The second one I'm going to be talking about. I'm not going to say. I can't say anything else. So I'm saying it's a miss. So that's best I can tell you. You obviously it's a miss for you because you just basically have no desire to see this film.
No.
The second film is an Academy Award film. It's an IMAX re-release. Now I don't know why this is being released in IMAX. I do not understand why, but it is being re-released. Forrest Gump is being re-released in theaters. It is a drama romantic comedy. It came out in 1994. It is PG-13.
Run,
Um,
Forrest, run!
Forrest Gump. Well, I don't need
Sorry.
to.
I
I'm just
had
gonna leave it
to.
alone. Tom Hanks stars in it. Robert Wright, Grace Styles. Are you gonna see this film in IMAX?
I haven't seen the film originally, so
I take that as a no.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I should get to watching it someday, but I just like my family Revs makes fun of me because in my childhood, I basically only read and I didn't really see any movies. So and he's like, didn't you review movies? How could you? And it's just like, but I know a lot more about movies that I know a lot about movies even if I haven't seen the movie in question, and I have this superpower of fooling Revs into thinking I've seen a movie when I haven't. Sometimes I'm pure accident, so I'm probably not going to see the movie, but hopefully it does well. But IMAX.
So my question is, just by what you just said, what's your take on this re-release of Forrest Gump?
Well,
Will you see it?
I probably not. I mean, it's a classic, but it's just if someone takes me to go see it, I won't be complaining. But this isn't one where I'm going to be,
I understand.
taking about a 2-hour bus trip where I have to switch buses to go to, or begging my dad to take me. It's just not that
I
not
understand.
that important.
Well, 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 I'm not gonna say this is gonna be hit or miss because this film has already been released in theaters. Um, I think it's pretty much for the nostalgia fans only. I think they could be fine. I don't see this film actually. blowing up. I don't see any big commercials for it. It's just probably being a certain IMAX release, and that's it. Again, this is a an award-winning classic. It won 6 awards, including Best Picture. And to be honest with you, whether you want to believe this film was overrated or not, I'll just leave it for the to the side. I'm not gonna go nuts on this. It's
Yeah.
a re-release. It's already made its money. It's Robert Zemeckis' best film. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. You know what film
Another
I
film
would
that's
love to
coming
see
out.
released in
Go ahead.
IMAX? 2001: A Space Odyssey. I would love to find. It's my favorite movie of all time, so I'd love to see it on the big screen.
It's it. Actually, that's not. Yeah, I actually like to see it on big screen. I actually like it. I want to see it like that. I do.
I would love to.
People
I would
keep people keep
kill
telling me to watch the
people to
film.
see it on IMAX.
That'd be the perfect spot to do it. There's a lot of. I bet you would. There's a lot of limited releases film. This is probably why they didn't give me any releases because they not much being released. A lot of stuff is being released limited engagements. One of them is God Help the Girls. I have never heard of this film at all.
Nope.
The title, it says in the brief description there, as Eve begins writing songs as a way to sort through some emotional problems, she meets James and Cassie, 2 musicians, each at the crossroad of their own. Is it me or there's a lot of musician movies coming out? Drama, musical, romance is 111 minutes long. It is a limited release. The film stars Emily Boeing, Oli Alexandra, Hannah Murray, and Perry, last name I can't pronounce. So there's your list there.
Last
This
name
is
I
going to be.
can't pronounce.
I can't pronounce his name. I mean, you want to take a crack at it?
No, why not?
Yeah, I can't pronounce it.
You're like an idiot this time around.
um, I have to see the trailer again. It sounds like the same musical romantic comedy I've seen years ago. Um, I'm looking at the poster. I'm laughing because this poster's bad. God help the girls. You're gonna need all the help you can get on this. Um, I don't know if you're gonna see the film. I doubt you will because
It doesn't.
someone someone tells me you're not.
No.
This one I did heard about. I actually heard about this movie. Um, it says Kelly and Kyle. Again, music. Kelly, a punk rocker turned suburban mom, is nostalgic for life, and she can no longer have an uncertain future she doesn't yet fit in. 17-year-old Kyle is frustrated at the lack of control over the hand he has been dealt. When the two strikes up an unlikely friendship, the perfect spark is needed to thrust them both back to life. The film starred Juliette Lewis, Johnny Wilson, Josh Hawkins, Sybil Shepherd. The film is directed by Jim McGraw. I have heard about this. I actually seen part of a trailer, and this is the film that I think will be released as independent. Now, this film is considered as a comedy, drama, and family. Now, Juliette Lewis, her career for the most part, has been through independent films. There are some that actually have blown up more. I think you have heard of the movie Whip It.
No. Sorry.
That was quick. No,
No.
that was one of the famous independent film that she was in with Ellen Page. Um, I'm not gonna call this a myth. For independent film, if it's in independent theaters, it will be a hit, and I think it's gonna get high praises. If they try to release this too quickly in major theaters, then this film is not gonna vote well. But if it keeps it on the independent line, like I projected, may will be, this film may actually surprise a lot of people and be a hit. Um, the film is not rated, so I can't really tell you what the rating is. Most likely, it probably will be either PG-13 and R at for this day, before the week is over. But if it's not rated and it stays not rated, yeah, it's gonna be independent uh, for a while. This is also marks the debut of Jean McGraw's This is her first film, so hopefully that will lead to other films uh, down the road. And last but finally, another limited release. This is something I think that in the Big Black Hat Man's alley. Um, Frontiera. That was the movie that I couldn't pronounce earlier. And it says a former Arizona sheriff's wife is killed while riding on their ranch properly. It will appear that the Mexican man illegally crossed into the U.S. Is at fault as the former and current sheriff search for answers. Lives are changed forever. Don't go too far into the detail, which is actually a good thing. It is PG-13. It is a drama western. It is directed by Michael Berry. Ed Harris, Eva Lorena, Michael Pieta, and Amy Madigan all starred in this movie. Again, this is limited. I don't know if it's going to be a major film release down the road. My instincts tell me independent film. Again, independent film box office is different than the mainstream box office. It's not the same numbers that one may expect it. So it definitely can have its ups and downs. If it stays independent, yeah, I think it can make its money. It all depends on their budget. I don't see this. If you see the posters, clearly they didn't spend that much money on this movie. But um, that all depends. I think it will be a hit, but as an indie film only. What about you? Are you looking to look for this film if it does come out in major theaters?
It sounds interesting. I'm not a real big Western person. I mean, if you throw aliens in there, I'll go see anything. But it does seem one of the more interesting films mentioned. So if I was taking,
As I said,
yeah, if I could go see it, I would. So.
mhm. Well, what I like about this is that they didn't give you too much information, and it gave you just enough to say, okay, this sounds interesting. It is a Western drama. It is not from it's not from the old Western style. It looks like it's modern Western, which I have no problem with that. Um, and it could be made for a very interesting film. I just think it depends on how they promote this. And I think if they promote it well, I think they'd be fine. If they don't, then they'd probably be pretty much towards the independent crowd. But it does have the making of actually becoming mainstream. I mean, Western films are slowly resurfacing, and I like to see Western film make a comeback because I think that's one genre that has been fading in and out within the last few years. So the only major film that has a major theater release is is identical. That's it.
So,
No wonder everything else is limited. So yeah, so that's that's uh, that's unfortunate. But you know, maybe that's not a bad thing. So maybe they're getting gearing up for the October films, October, November, December, because that's still the films that definitely going to be looked at, especially during award season.
hmm,
You're awfully quiet.
I'm not quiet.
What's on your mind?
Let's
Oh,
see. I don't. I don't, like none of the movies really were like, oh my god, I gotta get off my seat and see it right now and get into my TARDIS and go and see the movie now. I can't wait. None of those movies were like that. That you announced that were being released in September. It was just like May. I guess I might see that May.
well, like I said, it's not. It's from what I've been seeing, it doesn't seem too much is going on in September. I think there's the animation. When is Disney coming up with a movie? That's just dawned on me.
I
Is
don't
Disney
know.
coming out with a film this holiday season?
Um, I don't know.
I gotta look that up. That's the one thing I almost forgot. I know they talk about this big adventure film. I
Oh,
just
the Big
totally slipped my
Hero
mind, but
8. Was Big
um,
Hero 8 being released this year?
I think so. I think it's supposed to be one of those holiday films. I gotta double check it because that's just dawned on me that I haven't talked about one thing about Disney since they released.
Screw Disney.
Planes, fire and rescue.
Oh God,
But
fuck!
that's
I've
pretty
never
much it.
seen the first like Planes movie, but I didn't, hear people say, "Oh my God, we have to have a sequel," and then not only did they get a sequel, it's a theater release. Who was asking for that? Which one of you bastards?
Hey, it made money. Disney's gonna milk it for its worth.
I know.
Alrighty here. I'm gonna do some final thoughts, guys. And in terms of my own promotion or selfish promotion, whatever they call it these days.
Go.
Park Slope will be ending, or I say Park Slope Adventures: The Man in Red Saga will be ending its run finally in the next 2 weeks. It should be the last week. Will be in full novel form, pretty much concluding the Man in Red Saga. And right after that's going to be concluded, October will mark the first issue a first official issue of the Rough House Gang, something that I had to pull off for a while due to personal reasons. And before first issue is been posted on Manic Expression, there will be sub issues, which is going to go from point five all the way down to zero, and then it's going to connect towards the Rough House Gang General's storyline. Um, Pretty much that will be it. There will be also I'm also ending this the season of Entertainment Roundup this coming month. That will be going in as usual hiatus, minus the Golden Globes Awards and the Academy Awards predictions and nomination and my thought about this year's winners and losers. And right on January, we'll be back for another season of Entertainment Roundup. Reading the review will make a limited engagement comeback. I'm actually going to bring that back. Originally, I decided to cancel it, but because I'm working on a future Harry Potter project that is going to be an editorial, I decided to bring back the reading review for pretty much not just reviewing some books I've read, but mostly to talk about the authors, starting with James Patterson. And I have a lot to say about him, especially the series that I consider be one of my favorites from him, Alice Cross. So I'm gonna be talking about that as well. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff I'm gonna be doing, keeping myself busy as well. As for this pilot episode, I think this was one of the funnest episodes that I've done, even though it is a pilot. We get a lot of things that was
Worked
fun.
out.
It worked out
I'm
well.
sorry, my nose was so itchy today. It's like itching every 5 seconds. So
That's
I'm sorry
okay.
for everyone who's
Um,
muted, like
I
me.
will say this. Mhm. I will
Continue.
say this about the J&J Monday. J&J Monday may have a different time slot. I did it today on this time slot. Actually, I'm kind of glad I did because a lot of the places are closed early. I like to do these kind of things live in the cafe, give it a cafe experience. But this is room for improvement. And what I mean by that is that the viewers, whether it's live or doing the YouTube experience, you get the chance to do something for us as well. If you guys have an article or story you like for me to check out, do it through either Google Plus or through my email, which I will leave in the link below. These articles must maintain an entertainment style blog. It has to be something that is not something that somebody wrote just for the sake of writing it. It has to also not be a gospel column. One thing I have a rule on: I do not write things just to or talk about things to spread juicy gossip. I deal with very serious subject matter in the entertainment world, something that is more genuine and not something like Beyonce about to get a divorce tomorrow, uh, which is never going to happen. So I'm just being realistic here. I'm keeping that rule down. Otherwise, if it's something sports related, something movie related, something that you guys feel that deserves my attention, bring it here. Or something that you think that Johnson deserves Johnson attention, especially with TV shows. Be more happy to mail it to
Yeah,
me. I'll
I'm
look at it.
big
I'll pass
TV
along the
person.
information.
Big TV
hmm
person.
So just do that, and I'll look at it as well. This is a temporary time slot. We may change the time, we may not. Again, this is the pilot episode. We're just kicking out the Kings. The first official Monday episode will probably be done not in this next coming Monday, but the following Monday to give us time to actually look at this video, iron out all the kinks and everything else, and to better prepare for ourselves for these stories that held ahead.
Just be aware, I'm going to
But for
be taking
now,
a
I
vacation
want to thank the
in
one viewer that's
September.
actually looked at us. Huh?
I'm going to be taking a vacation during this month, and I'll ask soon exactly what days from what dates, so you know that you don't plan for this podcast air, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you I can't join in because I'm going to be on the West
Well,
Coast.
we'll work something out. Oh, we'll work something out. Don't have to worry about that. That's not. I'm really not worried about that. This is still gonna be J&J. This is still gonna. You're gonna still be the main calls. If anything, I'll have. If anything, if you know someone who wants to sub in for you, that's fine. Or I'll just do it alone. But keep in mind that we got plenty of time. We do have. We may do it every week, may do it every other week. It all depends on our demanding schedule. But we're looking to have something, especially for dramatic expression, to have something that goes on. And keep in mind that this is also part of madexpression.com, aka mirrorsteinpublishing.com, and yeah, which is also distributed through YouTube or rights reserved. So that's pretty much it, guys. Until next time, I want to thank the one person who actually stood by us and watched this. Thank you very much. And and until next time, guys, this is J77 saying take care, be safe, and I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.